Hello friends, welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this video we will study about what are cursors. So cursors, before starting with the video, I would like to tell that cursors are not they are not very performance efficient. So it's not that you will frequently use cursors, only only in some situations where it becomes imperative to use cursors, then we use them. But they are not very performance efficient, so generally their use is discouraged. But still, if you are to explore the working of cursors, then cursors are like they are used to iterate the result set of a query. So if you have worked with JDBC or like any other database connectivity mechanism from like languages like C# or maybe Java or any other programming languages like Node.js. So you have when you get data from a database, you select data from a database, then you are returned a result set, and you iterate over that result set row by row. Okay, so this is the working of a cursor. So cursors process the result set of return by a query row by row. Okay, so let me go to the database and explore the working, how you can work with cursors. So I'll just go and open the database. Okay, use the publisher database, and if I say select database, then it is publisher database. So suppose I write select a star from the the table which we very frequently study, that's the employees table. If we say select star from the employees table, then if suppose so there are two things associated with this, the query and the result set that has been returned by the query. So we will look onto it. Okay, so for example, suppose here if you just see what is my query, this is the query, this. Okay, just so here is the this is the query. Okay, select star from employees, this is the query, and this is the result set that has been returned by this query. This is the whole the result set that has been returned by this query. This is the result set that is returned by this query. So what cursors are going to do, they are you can process this result set row by row. Okay, one row, second row, third row, and then you can process this result set row by row by the use of cursors. So this is and then you can perform some operations on the value that you are fetching from every row. So there are some steps involved while if you work with cursors. First of all, what you do is that you declare a cursor. So declaration of a cursors mean just declare the query that is associated with the cursor. So cursors are always associated with a select query. Then you open the cursor. So opening cursor means you are initializing the result set of the cursor. Then you fetch the data from a cursor. Okay, fetching you row by row fetch the data from the cursor. So this works on a row by row basis. On row by row basis, you fetch data from a cursor and then you close the cursor. So these are the 4 steps. Always you have to use these 4 steps if you want to perform some operations on cursors. Okay, sorry, these are not much. Okay, so alright, so these are 4 steps that are involved if you work with cursors. So I'll go to the PowerPoint presentation, and then these are the 4 steps. First you declare the cursor, then you open the cursor, that will initialize the result set for the cursor, and then fetch cursor into some variable list to retrieve the next row pointed by the cursor and move the cursor to the next row in the result set. So what is happening exactly, suppose I just go to this print, and I'll just I take a new window, and I don't save it all this. Suppose what is happening is that suppose from a result set there is a result set of something like this. Suppose you are having a result set of the employee name and the employee salary. Okay, this is the result set. Suppose there are only 3 rows. Suppose employee name Amit, Neha, Vishal, these, and then the salary suppose 1000 and 2000 and say suppose 3000. All these, they are the salary. This is for example, this is the result set. Okay, consider this to be the result set. So now what is gonna happen is that you are going to fetch these result set into some variables. So I'll have to declare some variables. Suppose I'll say v_ename, and I'll say suppose v_salary. So these are my variables in which I will fetch the name and salary of the first row. For example, Amit and 1000. So the value of v_ename will become what? It will become equal to Amit, and when it is in the first row, and the salary will become into what, 1000. And once I have fetched it, the cursor will move to the second row, and then you know the ename will not remain Amit, it will become what, it will become Neha, and the salary will become the salary of Neha, it will not remain 1000, it will become 2000. So this is the way you work with cursors. So let us head on, and without wasting any time, let us move forward and create how can we create a cursor. So before creating cursor, let me tell you the query that I'll be processing with cursor. So I will say select ename comma salary from which table, from suppose I say the employees table. I'm getting the ename and salary, and I'll create a cursor for it. So alright, so first of all, you remember that in MySQL, if you create cursors, then they have to be always inside a stored procedure. So I will say create procedure, say suppose proc underscore emp, and begin, and then end. So you must go to the class in which I have explained about stored procedures. So these are the delimiters for the stored procedures. So I have declared a delimiter for the stored procedure. So first of all, my task will be to suppose what I'm doing, what my query is. So I'll have to declare the cursor. So how will I declare the cursor? Declare cursor. Suppose the name of the cursor is C1, and the query is select ename comma what, salary from which table, from the employees table. So I've declared the cursor, and then I need to what? Then I need to open the cursor. What is the name of the cursor? C1. See, I have declared a cursor, and the name of the cursor is C1, and I am fetching what? I am fetching the name and the salary. I am fetching name and what? I am fetching the salary. So this way I am doing. So let me do one thing also. Let me declare two variables, and I will say declare I will say v underscore ename as varchar suppose 100, and I will say suppose declare v underscore salary, and I will declare it as an int. Okay, so I'll fetch the name and salary into what? This query is returning what? It is returning name and salary, ename and salary of every employee row by row, and I will fetch them into these variables. I will fetch them into v underscore ename, and I'll fetch them into what? V underscore salary. So how am I gonna write it? I'm gonna write it like this. Suppose I'll say fetch C1 into what? Fetch C1 into v underscore ename and v underscore salary. I'm going to say like this. Okay, so this way it is going to work, but I need to process it for all the rows. Okay, but I need to process it for all the rows. So what will be happening is that, so the cursor will move from one row to the next row. For example, it was on this row, then it will go to this row again. When you will say fetch C1 into v underscore ename and v underscore salary, then it will fetch the values, and it will move to the next row, but it will not find the next row. So a net not found exception condition will be raised. So we need to handle that not found exception condition. How I'm gonna handle? So you need also to be good with the concepts of exception handling. So I will say first of all, I will declare a variable and v underscore finished. Declare v underscore finished, I will say integer, and default I will set it to 0. Okay, so this v underscore finish. So v underscore finish is a kind of variable that I'm maintaining, that so when I'm processing the rows, for example, if you go over here, when I'm processing the rows, suppose if it is in the first row, then v underscore finish will be it will be equal to 0. For the second row also, the v underscore finish will be equal to 0. For the third row also, v underscore finish will be equal to 0. But when no rows will be found, not found exception will be raised, and for that I will set v underscore finished equal to 1. Okay, I will set v underscore finished equal to 1. Sorry, I'll write it over here. Okay, think over here. All right, for when you don't found any rows, then I will set v underscore finished equal to 1. So why I am maintaining this variable? Because this will be the exit condition for my this will be the exit condition for my loop. So if I exit the loop, I will exit the loop based upon this condition. Okay, so what I will say declare continue handler for what is the condition that will be raised if no more roads are not found. And I will say in this, you set v underscore finished equal to 1. Okay. Alright, so when this condition will be raised, not found condition will be raised, v underscore finish will be set to what? V underscore finish will be set to 1. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a loop. Suppose I say loop and suppose the name of the loop, I'll say get emp. This is the name of the loop, and inside the loop I say fetch c1 into what? Into v underscore ename and v underscore salary. So this, for per row they will fetch the name and salary of every employee in my employees table. So they will fetch the name and the corresponding salary. Then I need to check what I need to check. If v underscore finished equal to 1, if this is the case, then I need to get out of the loop. And get out of which loop? The get underscore emp loop. See here, you see now you have declared the name of the loop, what? Get emp. Okay, so I think there is some it's not like this. So get underscore emp is the name of the loop, and then I will say something like this. Okay, and then leave and then I'll end the if conditions. So I will say end if. Okay, so here I am ending the if condition. So this if condition is starting from here, it is from here to here. Okay, now what I am going to do is that I will just select what? I will just select con cat. I will say v underscore ename comma v underscore salary. Okay, just let it remain very simple, and then I will say okay, then I need to close the loop. So how will I do it? I will say end loop, and which loop? The name of the loop is get underscore emp. This is the loop, and then you have this open cursor is this is the second step. Once you declare the cursor, then you need to what? You need to open the cursor. So how I open the cursor? The name of the cursor is c1, so I say open c1, and once you have you have finished processing with the cursor. So in which loop I have finished processing with cursor? The c1 cursor. Inside this loop I have finished the processing with the cursor. Then I need to do what? Then I need to close the cursor. So what will I say? Close. What is the name of the cursor? c1. So in this way I have declared this, created a stored procedure, and what is the name of the stored procedure? Proc underscore emp. Okay, this is the name of the stored procedure, and inside the stored procedure I have done what? I have fetched the name and salary of every employee row by row, and I'm displaying them. Okay, here I'm displaying them. When you are saying select concat v underscore ename v underscore salary, you're just displaying the name and salary that you have fetched from the result set. So I think in the database I have already let me ensure that there is no procedure of this name proc underscore emp. Okay, first of all let us drop this procedure, and then I'll just control a, sorry, I will go over here. I will just not getting, okay, control a, I'll just copy all of this, and then I will paste it. Let us see if there is some problem. Declare continue handler for not found set v underscore finished equal to 1. Okay, I think there is a problem with the, I need to write something like this. Declare c1, and then I need to write cursor. Okay, control a, copy. I think now it should work. All right, yeah, it's working. Okay, so this way you have you have created the stored procedure. Now what I will, you have created the stored procedure. How do you call the stored procedure? By using call. What is the name of the stored procedure? Proc underscore emp, and if I just say like this, okay, the delimiter is $. So you'll get the name of the employees followed by their what, followed by their salary. You can also do something like this. For example, I'll first of all again drop the stored procedure, drop procedure proc underscore what, emp. I've dropped the stored procedure. Okay, why I'm doing like this, I have set the delimiter to $. So what I need to do is that again reset the delimiter. So I will reset the delimiter to this. Okay, so again I need to copy it. I think control a, here I need to make some changes. So what changes will I make? I will say something like this. For example, I will use a nested concat over here, and inside this nested concat I'll just put like this. So I have two nested concats, and I'll just paste a comma over here, and yeah, I think it should work. And then of course, yeah. So what I've done, I have concatenated the name followed by this symbol, and then followed by the what, followed by the salary. Then you will get a better formatted output. Just for this purpose, let me Control A. Sorry, I'll just copy the whole code, and here I'm just first of all let me drop the what you need to drop a procedure. What is the name of the procedure? proc_emp. I just dropped this procedure. Okay, it does not exist. I've already dropped it. Okay, I need to again recreate the procedure, and then again I need to call it. Call what? proc_emp, and then if you just do it. Oh, sorry, the delimiter has been changed. Delimiter is $. Okay, there is some problem. Alright, what is the problem? Concat. Alright, Control A, copy. There was a spell mistake. So again I need to drop the procedure. So what will I say? Drop procedu procedure. proc_emp. This is the name of the stored procedure. Alright, I have dropped. Again I need to create it. So how will I create it? Here you see. I'll just go and paste it, and here I've created, and then I need to call it. Call what? proc_. I'll say first of all delimiter, and I'll set the delimiter to this, and then I will call it. Call what? proc_emp, and let's see what is the output. Then you are getting first you are getting all this but now you are getting a name and salary, and then between the name and salary you are getting what? You are getting a hyphen sign also, okay, in between them. Okay, so this is the working of cursors. So I think I'll just I'll pause the video over here. In the next video we will continue a discussion of cursors, and we will write a few more few more programs that are involved, that involve cursors and their working. Okay, thank you so much.